What's up, everyone? It is one of my absolute favorite times of the year. It is time to unveil my top 5 films of 2024. As I always preface with these videos, this is my personal list. It does not have to match yours. In fact, I would love to see yours as well. Drop it in the comments section below. When I whip up these lists, they are put together for deeply personal reasons, so all I ask is that you respect that. Be kind to me and to each other, and let's celebrate film in 2024, beginning with my number 5 movie. It is The Substance. So clearly, I love the film quite a bit, but one of my absolute favorite things about film 2024 is seeing a bonkers, don't hold back body horror movie like The Substance get so heavily embraced during award season. As someone who adores genre storytelling and always think it deserves more credit than it gets, that makes me very happy, and so does the fact that I think The Substance very much deserves all of the nominations and accolades it's getting right now. I do often say that I have an easier time processing difficult human truths through film, and I do find that to be especially effective in the horror genre when it can do so by going to the extreme. And I think The Substance does that especially well, particularly when it comes to examining self-love in a world when we're facing all of these unrealistic expectations and pressures. And the way Carly Farget and her team bring those ideas to screen, it's just next level craftsmanship across the board. The movie is loaded with jaw-dropping makeup and prosthetics. The production design is unforgettable. The score is pulse-pounding. And then, of course, those two lead performances. I am a very big believer that what Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley do in this movie, some of the best performances we've seen in all of 2024. I will isolate one single scene, though, because it's one of my favorite scenes of the whole year. It is the one of Demi Moore in front of the mirror. Just, like, really phenomenal stuff. Love The Substance. Now moving on to my number 4, which is Strange Darling. Having this one on the list really excites me because I first saw Strange Darling in September 2023 back at Fantastic Fest, and I left that festival saying if the movie was distributed in that year, it would be in my top 10 of 2023. Clearly, that didn't happen, but look at the staying power this movie had. I am so proud to call it my number 4 of 2024 now. I think it's flawless execution of a nonlinear narrative. It is beautifully photographed in 35mm. It's got so much texture to it and so many stunning pops of color. And then, of course, the film is anchored by 2 more of the very best performances of 2024. It's Kyle Gallner and Willa Fitzgerald. And when it comes to Willa in particular, I am a very, very big believer that she should be a bigger player this award season. Even without that, though, I have full faith that more and more people out there will discover Strange Darling and be absolutely floored by her lead performance in the movie, and also floored by the next level amount of thought, care, and passion that really went into every single ounce of this film. Moving on to my number 3, this is where I have It's What's Inside. And I still can't get over the fact that this is Greg Jarden's feature directorial debut. It would be a hugely ambitious movie for anybody to make, let alone it being your very first time directing a feature film. I was lucky enough to get to be one of the very first people to see this movie for its Sundance premiere back in January, and I walked out of the movie just wildly impressed and so enthusiastic about it, but given the complexity of the story, and also because I happen to be a movie lover who obsesses, if not over-obsesses, over tiny details, I was very curious to see how the movie would play for me on subsequent viewings. I will stop short of admitting how many times I've seen It's What's Inside since, but I will very much confirm that it gets stronger and stronger with each rewatch. Jarden and cinematographer Kevin Fletcher make some pretty genius visual choices, ones that I think do heavily contribute to clearly conveying the details of this situation and also giving It's What's Inside this really effective, intoxicating quality that I absolutely loved. On top of that, it's an extremely well-edited movie by Jarden. It seamlessly tracks this whole body swap situation, and also the pacing is just absolutely impeccable. Then I have to give a ton of credit to this phenomenal ensemble. I would imagine making a body swap movie is a super exciting creative endeavor for any actor out there, but it also seems so wildly challenging to me, and every single member of this ensemble nails every single ounce of their performances, and that is just of the utmost importance to making a concept like this work. So between that and also Jarden's super sharp script and direction, It's What's Inside winds up being a wildly enthralling and wonderfully stylish high concept thrill that also has a whole lot to say about how we view others and also ourselves. Clearly, I cannot get enough of this one. Moving on to my number 2 of 2024, this is where I have My Old Ass. I would probably say that this is the movie that had the greatest presence and also most heavily defined my 2024. I saw My Old Ass for the very first time in January at Sundance, where it premiered, and I just felt so hard for the film itself and also the people who made it. So I made a point to continue to support the film as much as I possibly could all the way through its theatrical release, and now clearly beyond as well. After being so incredibly impressed by the fallout, My Old Ass just further solidified the fact that I think Megan Park is one of my highest priority directors to continue to watch. On top of that, the movie proved that Maisie Stella is an absolute star. There is no doubt in my mind she's going to continue to go on to do very, very big things. And then also, the movie introduced me to Carice Brooks, who is already proving to be a rising force in this art form and industry. So the movie really filled me up as someone who just absolutely loves the craft of filmmaking and also finding really exciting talent and voices within this space. But then on top of that, the story in My Old Ass just absolutely rocked me to my core. It's a super tender and charming tale about coming of age that delivers especially big when it comes to offering up a very well-layered narrative for its main character, but one that also inspires the viewer to apply this concept to their own life, whether it's looking back or to the future. I know with certainty that not only did My Old Ass make a very, very big impression on me in 2024, but it is definitely a movie that I'm going to carry with me well into the future. That brings me to my number 1 movie of 2024. It's Wicked. I do not think it is overstating it to say that this movie is a true dream come true for me. As someone who went through a phase where she was very obsessed with and also needed that musical, it is just impossibly wonderful and exciting to finally have a film version, and also to have a film version that is this good. I was absolutely dazzled by the musical numbers all over again, but here, they're quite brilliantly enhanced by how well this team put to use the tools and techniques that are unique to filmmaking. Also, impeccable use of close-ups in this movie that brought me closer to these characters than I ever could have imagined. And also, this casting, Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo as Glinda and Elphaba, is utter perfection. It's not just some of the best casting of 2024. I really do believe it's some of the very best casting of all time. The two of them hit that ideal balance between honoring the performances, the versions of these characters that came before them, but also making these roles and their connection together feel uniquely their own. And I love that quality of this film. I really could go on and on listing things that I love about Wicked, but I'll just stick to adding one more. It is something that has emerged as a bit of a cherry on top here, especially as someone who, like I said, really loves the craft of filmmaking and just wants good things for this industry. I recently read John M. Chu's book, Viewfinder. I read it between my second and third viewing of Wicked, and knowing his journey in this industry and then seeing what it led to in this film is just, it's really something special and inspiring. So there you have it, my top 5 movies of 2024. Thank you for watching this video and for celebrating them with me. Now it is your turn. Please drop your own top 5s in the comments section below. I would love to hear about them. Big thanks to everybody out there for watching this and celebrating movies all year long with me. Can't wait for more in 2025.